Then we'll just borrow you. Can I borrow you for a few minutes?
Sure. What do you need me for?
We're gonna judge some skill builder challenge entries. Santana's gonna trip
I'm probably the least qualified person to judge anyone else's building.
That's okay.
Because I just snap stuff together.
Well, then you can be impressed. So that's all that matters, right? Is that
All right.
I don't know how we're judging this on a.
Why don't we just have ping pong paddles?
If you can, I can stash that. There's a Uline freebie. It's like a thing you can put across a random table. So
okay.
I get random free stuff, sure. Like why not? Real quick to frame this, the rules of the contest are essentially that the focus is on the base itself.
Okay.
So the kit doesn't matter and should not count at all for whether something wins. It's
so the kit's just base. Like an accessory to the.
It's an accessory to it. The base is the focus. I mean, technical excellence is obviously valuable. This is a skill builder, so the idea is to get people out of their comfort zone and doing things that they haven't done before. So there should be, for each one of these, a new skill attempted, and that should kind of come into it. But I think we're kind of judging just overall, like, we'll come up with like a first, second, and third. I think there's six entries. They're all the beginner category because the one entry for the advanced category technically didn't count. All right, so this is the first one. I guess we'll look through each of these and comment on them, then we can come back and pick which one we like the best. So, first one, skills attempted, plot plate, layering, putty, port type markers, fully painted and slightly customized version of the system base 001 kit.
Try to sell them those rich type markers next time.
So there you go, this one's just the, is that the lighting in itself, or is that, looks almost like it was like shaded or something?
Yeah, I don't think that's lighting just because it doesn't look right from wherever it's coming from. I like it if that's not the case. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Because you can see it on the back plate too.
Yeah, it's like shaded a little bit. That's cool. It's been a little while since I've snapped together one of these. I'm trying to remember what of this is. I mean, looks like it's the standard and what might be custom.
I mean, it looks pretty vanilla, at least the one I see.
It's the system.
So I wonder if the
putty.
The extra plate stuff's like on the bottom.
Maybe.
So I'm curious where the
Patrick's grabbing one. I think.
Okay.
Pictures in the box. We got the advantage.
Any comparisons?
Of having all these.
And zoom, enhance.
Shoot it like a.
Enhance.
So.
Well,
the plate on
it's definitely a different bit.
Well, I think there's a different plate on the bottom you can use. I think it might be.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's those two flat ones put together.
Yeah.
Either way, it still looks nice.
That can be done in a wide or narrow. Yeah. And I don't see a lot of what you would call it. Like just be the angle of the pictures, but these system bases, they're definitely a lot like the mold lines, all down this. These pieces here, the mold line comes right down through the middle of that piece, and at least it might be the picture, but they're like not super obvious if they're there.
Yeah,
it could just be the quality of the.
I mean,
the screen that we're looking at.
It's been sanded, painted. It could have been.
Yeah, I mean, I like the overall like feel they got down with the painting, the little blacks, kind of melded in.
Yeah. Details look good.
Gives it that nice like in-hanger feel.
Yeah.
It looks like they filled in they may have added the plot plate around the front too. Look at the front image of it.
Oh yeah.
Down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like there are these little.
Yeah, you can see that these little like notches aren't on the sides too.
I see.
So it looks like the plate might have been that whole bottom thing.
Okay, well, let's look at the next one, and then we'll double back here. Number 2, new skills attempted, molding, dry brushing, terrain, sculpting. Everything really, it's my first diorama base. Greatest diorama base for RG New and RG Sotheby to battle on. I took inspiration from Char's Counterattack as well as the movie Armageddon.
I mean, just by looking at it, I already, for if that's really his first time diorama, like I'm gonna call BS on that one.
Yeah, it's really good.
Like that level of detail is like actually insane.
I appreciate the photography.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Like really good at getting the details.
What's like the last two pictures really sell you on it too, because you notice that those rocks aren't like they look like they're separate pieces to it, maybe like glued in or something.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a satellite, or not a satellite, but like a transmitted photo from a probe on the moon or something. Like,
I mean, I would personally love to see the kits on it. Feel it really put me in the moment. But yeah, no, that's
why tempt us and not be able to see it with everything else too?
No, that's an insane level of detail though.
Cool.
Like, I don't see a lot of dioramas, but that one's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, next one, new skills attempted. Faux greenage.
Faux greenage.
Method of wash application. Description: a long forgotten quarry that has been battered and eroded by water and beginning to be reclaimed by nature's moss and lichen.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was like flat, but then the second picture shows that there's like detail to it.
Yeah, it's definitely not completely flat.
Yeah, like I'm not too sure about the wash stuff. I think I would have preferred it to be a little bigger, but it gets the job done.
I mean, the back of that definitely looks like a rock quarry. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I'm pretty sure that blue is supposed to be the water.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing that the Zaku's on.
Yeah, it looks almost like it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Well, I guess it does eroded by water.
Yeah,
So I think
I
that's
have to
supposed to be
imagine
water.
it's water, but
Yeah.
I think that
Or it's probably mud. Like,
that too. If it's mud, I understand
Could be.
the texture look on it, which
Yeah.
really sells
I mean,
you.
so these are all like, so this is all like first time stuff. I don't know if this individual's ever done any water effects or done any of this other stuff. So it's hard to say.
But either way, it's
know,
still it still is achieving what he's going for. I feel.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. Like I would have loved to see, like, if it is supposed to be mud or water, doing like a really murky, like,
muddy
one
water.
of those, and I've never done it, so I'm not really in a position to tell someone they should do anything. But you can do those resin water, the epoxy or whatever that they do, and like you can make that muddy water kind of look and stuff like that, and that would have looked really cool with this. As like a next
maybe
step,
going for more of a, like right now, like a dried out, muddy. Like
Yeah,
where
it could
it's
be.
being eroded. Maybe it's
could be.
water in and water out, or heavy rains or something that are eroding and washing it out. You wouldn't
I
have
still think either way he really achieved a nice look on the bottom. The wall looks
Is that
really
like a
good
log?
too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like a log.
That definitely works as a thing too.
Yeah. I think the front image doesn't do it justice, but I think when you see the second image where it's at an angle, that really like shows you the amount of work and detail that's put into it.
Yeah, it would have looked good. Like, I would have loved to see it from like the slightly other angle too, like from the
Where the
left instead of
little
from the
rock
right.
wall is.
Yeah, to like look at it from this corner.
I like the
facing
use
in that way.
of kit boxes as a photo box.
Yeah.
That's what I need to start
Use
doing.
what you have.
Yes.
I just take crappy pictures on my
I
desk.
think, I don't know, is this right here trying to get some extra points?
The Mecca Warehouse stickers on the cutting mat underneath it. Yeah, those are important. That can make or break a build. To be
Good.
honest.
I know. Where's the challenge coin?
I know we're not supposed to focus on the kits, but I would have loved to see like almost like a gunner box type thing. Just that little wall, you could have had like a grunt suit with a large rifle or something just mounted there.
All right, next one, new skill attempted. First attempt at a diorama. So another diorama here. Diorama of a crashed Exia into the mountainside, long lost and overgrown with parts scattered on impact. This is my first diorama I've ever made. Spent the last few weeks of free time working on it.
Oh, that
so
match
you
is
got a
pretty big.
chair there in the background. I don't know if that is where it's positioned.
It's actually quite big.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's actually quite large.
Yeah. If that's just in free time, that's actually really cool. I think if it's a crashed Exia, I would have loved to see more parts.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell where they
Like,
are.
I can see the sword in the first image, and I can make out some parts, but I wonder if they're all in that, like, black smoke.
Yeah, is that like a foot or something?
Yeah, I think that's
I
the
think
foot.
I think the TV is a little darker. Like I can make out more over on the computer screen there.
Oh yeah,
a little bit. Like
that is. So he's made a good like kind of cave impact point.
yeah,
So that's probably where the Exia is, and then there's some other... Maybe that's why you don't see that many parts, actually.
Just scroll one of the other ones. I really like the texturing in the side of the rock.
right. Yeah,
You know, it looks.
Yeah, I mean, when I first looked at it, it just reminded me of seeing like the Warhammer dioramas.
Yeah,
Just that level of detail.
And none of it's in straight lines, which makes it just kind of look more.
The other neat thing is he didn't have to do all the extra stuff around it either. He could have really just done the diorama of it crashed into a wall, but he took the extra time to really flesh out the landscape. Because if you asked me, you really could have just done that small box where the crash site happened and just stopped right there.
Right.
But I think that shows an extra level of dedication to the diorama.
Oh, okay, so that's the sword, which is that there.
There's a foot in the smoke, and I think there's like an arm or something off to the left in the bush. Like that I saw in one of the earlier images.
Yeah, some of these are hard to...
So maybe like, I think sometimes getting more detailed pictures helps too. Like the one thing with the moon.
Oh, yeah, there's the leg in the bush.
Right, yeah, like it would have been really great to have like a zoomed in picture like...
Yeah, like
oh, you really can see it in there.
Yeah, but enhance.
Actually, you know what? I kind of like the way that's just kind of positioned, where it's just kind of like it flown backwards into it.
And so it looks like it must have crashed and then everything's overgrown, right? That's probably what he said in the thing. You can see the like crater path in there and then stuff growing over it. And I'm glad I zoomed in on that.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to tell. But like a photo of this, like with the overgrown leg here in the foreground.
The green growing in on the leg and growing.
Yeah. And then the type of weathering he would have had to do, along with the extra detail to get all the overgrowth on it, is really good.
Right. Yeah, it's really good. Like a photo with this leg in the foreground.
Like this image, this zoomed in, is it?
Yeah, and like super, if you had it super clear, kind of like the moon pictures, like super clear. Like
it would have been really helpful just for.
And it's a great diorama, but it's
helpful. The kid in this one makes a good accessory.
Especially if you can send multiple pictures.
Yeah, I don't think there was really a limit.
I think it would have been maybe a little neater too if you had like a little recovery squad too on there, because I know you can get like little diorama people.
Yeah.
And just
that
like
might
excavation
not play into the theme of it being like overgrown.
Well, you could easily sell it off as like, maybe like 2 kids come across it or something.
Yeah, an archaeological dig.
Dylan wants a story now.
Yeah.
Hey, when I see diorama, I think.
When I see diorama, I think story.
Yeah, I want to be put there somehow.
You sound like nickel models.
Yeah, insert clip of nickel models saying it's supposed to tell a story.
The story of how that model went from being a pristine vehicle or robot into a wrecked junker is going to influence every single thing you do through the whole model.
Okay, next one, new skill attempted. Added lighting to a model. Added string lights to the base of Goku to make it look like he has just transformed into Super Saiyan.
Is that the lights on? Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, I do like good use of LEDs.
Yeah.
You don't see it too much.
Kind of cool. You get good, like... So you think of it as, so the base is the important thing, but what the base does to whatever is in it. Like a diorama's obviously got whatever in it already. The base could have a kit just permanently fixed there, or you could have a base that's one that you would stick something in, kind of like this, although it's obviously not going to get used for much else other than Goku or maybe another Saiyan in a similar situation. But what it does to the, like, it's not attached to the figure itself, but the lighting it causes on the figure.
Yeah, it's not washing out everything. It's not so.
Well, it's just
you can go too heavy with LEDs.
Yeah, I was literally going to say the same thing. It's good that you didn't use so many lights, because I mean it's an easy argument that it's just the starting of the transformation instead of like the over lightage that they use in the show, and simplicity really is the best in this situation.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. Really creative and really.
Now he's just got to find like a blue version of that, and he can do the other Saiyans.
Yeah. God Super Saiyan, whatever.
Yeah, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan
God,
2.
How do you say it?
SSG,
SS. Continuous loop. All right.
Oh, an Ava one?
And then we got new skill attempted, spray paint and dry brush weathering. Here I have an Evangelion transport cage carrying unit 03. I use it to me a dark green spray can and did a little bit of dry brush weathering. It was my first time using both techniques and wanted to go for a more subtle look.
Not gonna lie, the lighting and the photography really really sells this for me. Yeah, I don't know how those cages are supposed to normally look, but I like the kind of like greenish,
Yeah.
almost like the olive drab look.
Looks like it's been used.
Yeah, there's a couple of different cages. I don't know which one this is. It doesn't look like the one that came in the DX kit. Maybe it's the
Different cage or slightly
different
modified.
Maybe it might be the one that Delpy had for a while.
Mm. I don't know if it's part of it, but on those little circles that the mouse is over, you see like the little white, like specks, like something metal, almost look like it rubbed up against it.
Like it's been used. Like it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's actually the plastic bent, but it definitely has that metal wear.
I was gonna say, I noticed on that front corner there's some like dings into the front plate.
Yeah. Weathering without being like.
Yeah, but that is
Over
good
the top.
weathering. Generally, is usually it's over the top is too much.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, unless that's the story you're trying to sell for some reason.
But it's just slight enough. You can like all the black on the bottom, like footprints and just maybe like oil, like spills and whatnot.
Yeah, it's definitely believable. Well, one of the things about weathering is like weathering, like on a mobile suit, it might be different in different places, right? Like a mobile suit that's walking through the woods might have more chips and dings lower on it because it's closer to the ground. It's closer to things that's going to hit. Whereas if your head's up above the trees as you're walking through, the head's probably not going to get dinged up as much, stuff like that. So that kind of stuff can definitely happen. And this has, some places that have more wear and some places that don't. And I totally believe like a lot of this wear down by the bottom, I could totally see if you're piloting a super tall mechanized something stubbing its toe into something as you're walking around because the awareness of what's going on that far away from you, like that's.
Well, even like vehicles too that would service it or drive around the hangars.
Oh, it's an Ava with a neural link. So if you stub its toe, you stub your toe.
Yes.
You can just see
Pain's
that.
unreal.
Now I need an animated short that's just.
No, we're just going
Like
to
a blooper,
superimpose like an Ava on the Family Guy.
Oh God. It's almost the perfect show.
Oh, good times. Okay, so we've got 6 entries here, and we got to choose like a first, second, and third, which is going to be relatively tough, I think. Zoom this back out because I don't know if it's going to be hard to differentiate. I think, especially where some are like dioramas, some are mechanical kind of bases, some really got the thing here. So I don't know if anybody's got any.
I think first place for me is tied between the Exia and the Moon.
Okay.
I like the Moon because of the amount of detail that's on it.
Right.
But I like the Exia one because it's the diorama and the kit that's there too, so it really sells me on what's going on in that one.
Sure.
But I think if I had
you can almost consider parts of the kit as part of the base.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think for me my first place would be the Exia one, just because I like the amount of work that was done on the diorama and on the kit itself.
Okay.
So it really just sells what's going on there.
Okay. What about you, Patrick? Do you have like a
it probably
first?
goes somewhere between the Moon and the DBZ because the LEDs are a good use of LEDs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I build computers and sometimes RGB is way too much from some people and.
Yeah,
That's a tasteful use of LED.
Yeah, I've had
it would accentuate whatever kit is put in there. Wouldn't even have to be like a DBZ character. You could use that for any kind of electrical or power.
Right.
anything with some.
Stick a HG G Gundam kit in that, and it's gonna light up and accentuate some kind of
definitely
power up from that. So.
Okay.
And I can definitely on this one when he says he
really
inspired Armageddon inspired that bit right there.
Mm-hmm.
The 100% is part of the Armageddon inspiration from the comet arms that are jutting out on it
Yeah, I like the Moon one, so the Moon one would definitely be one of my top picks too. That's so hard.
Well, it's just a great base, and there's no kit attached to it at all, and it'd be like, you could literally use that for any.
Yeah, it's such a general use diorama that it just works for like anything space related.
Right. And I really like the system base too.
Yeah.
That like I think pretty sure it's some sort of pre-shading or something that gets that like shaded effect. And I like it.
Yeah, like,
Okay, so we've all mentioned the moon as the top one, so I think the moon one is first place.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty.
I feel that's
pretty
fair.
easy. And then it's choosing between the system base, Goku, and the
I would
Exia
like to
for
know
second
on
and
this
third.
one what the
Yeah.
plot plate and what was the other new technique on that one was
Putty
putty.
and
Like,
markers.
I would love to know
What it is that was actually.
what it was that was actually done on there, because without having one out of the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, and built in front of you and doing direct comparisons, it's a bit tricky to tell where the putty was put.
And these don't have great detail.
Yeah. I mean, when it came to the bases, I did like the Exia one a little bit more over this one, just because of the amount of like small detail.
Yeah, it's definitely deeper. I get that.
Yeah. I mean, that definitely does look like it's a well-used cage.
Yeah.
You know, the weathering, the shading.
Yeah. I mean, that Exia base did have probably a lot more work put into it looking at it.
Yeah. And on the Exia base, in terms of the base itself, without the kit, you could still put a different thing in there.
Yeah, right, because it's scenery, so you could you could totally stand a kit on here somewhere and it would fit in pretty well.
A lot of the work on the sides of the mountain, the shading there, the striations in the side of the rock look very natural, rather than, hey, I took this rake tool and carved in foam. And I see that, but then some people will start there, shade in, and then
Work from there.
Definitely.
And a lot of time went into.
So what do you guys think about that as number 2 then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely where it would sit for me.
Okay. So we got Moon, we got the Exia, we got the other 2 that have been mentioned then, where they got the system base and the Goku. Obviously, this was one of Patrick's favorites, so I think that's his pick of those 2.
Yeah.
What about you?
If
the tiebreaker, since we.
If it's between those 2, I like the simplicity in both of them, and I think I might go more towards Goku just because LEDs are a pain in the ass. Like, not to use too many, but use just the right amount to get what you're aiming for.
Sure.
And the best part about this is he can just easily attach more if he wants to go more over the top.
Sure. Okay. I buy that. So the Moon first, the Exia second, and the Goku third. So congratulations to Shark Attack for first place, Perlis for second, and Bomber for third. And obviously they were all excellent. There weren't any that were like, oh, this sucks, let's toss it aside. They were all good. I think it was kind of tough to.
I respect the fact that it's all better than what I could do.
And ultimately, the real winner is anybody who tries when it's something like this. The point was to get people out of their comfort zone, and hopefully everybody who participated got something out of trying something new. And I definitely got some ideas for.
Seeing this makes me almost want to start working on a diorama or something really close to it. Almost.
Good.
Hey, I'm not a small detail type of guy. All right.
All right. Cool. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.